Okay, so tonight I would like to speak about creative blocks. It was actually the subject of my videos from the very beginning when I explained why I was talking about Tok Tok and Hollis and why this music had a great importance on my art. But if some people are wondering how I managed to overcome these blocks, I never answered. Actually, the answer would be really long. That's why I think that I'm going to do that in 3 parts because there were many reasons. First, I was in a nervous breakdown, a depression, so that was the main reason. So I will probably do soon a video about how to overcome a depression. At least I can only give my experience. It's not valid for everybody. I can only say what I know. I will also speak about my anxiety problem. Well, I'm not the only one in this situation, and how I overcome this as much as I can. But there is also this block part, the creative block, which is not only in art, it can be in a lot of things. For example, for me it was in art and craft, but also in many things of the everyday life that I had difficulties to do. But I'm going to speak here about art. I mean any art. It's valid for any art. For me it's related to art and music, but it's valid as much for writing, for sculpting, for any form of art, media, creation, anything you do which is creative. So it's not only art, it can be anything creative. Actually, it's valid. So I'm going to tell you what I did. So the first moment when I managed to overcome a little my block about art and craft, it was because I was going to see a therapist in Paris, and she basically forced me to do some collage. She told me, next time you come, you bring me a collage. I told her I don't manage to do that anymore. I have no ideas. Nothing is coming. It's scary. I'm in front of a blank page and I'm like, and what can I do? And she told me, I don't want to hear anything about that. You come and you bring me something, a collage. Whatever you want. I'm not going. She told me I'm not going to judge about the quality of what you do. The point is that you do something. So I forced myself. I forced myself because she was expecting me to do something, and I wanted to give it a try first, and probably to please her because I liked her. So I wanted to do it like an assignment. And I glued white sheets on white sheets on white sheets on white sheets, and I just wrote a few words and more white sheets. I could see only white. And she was happy when I came. She found that what I did was interesting and was actually giving a lot of information about my problem. The next week she asked me to do it again, and actually there was a progress. So I would say that in my situation then, so that was in 2005, it was a very long time ago now, I was not procrastinating. I was not blocked because I was in a stage where no idea were coming. You know, because when you create, sometimes you are up, you are very creative and you have a lot of ideas and you work and work and work. I was working like that in Paris on my paintings. It was one painting after the other. I was not spending a lot of time on each painting except the big one that I made, because of the size it was more difficult. But otherwise, I would say that in 2-3 weeks a painting was finished, and I was doing something else, and I was also doing a lot of craft because I was supplying stores in objects and things like that. So I was very creative. I didn't have any problem of block or procrastination then. Doesn't mean that it's not the case now. So then I was fine, but then when I had my nervous breakdown, it became completely different, because it was like it was, I don't know if it was a block. It was really like if I was forbidding myself to create somehow. It was I was scared to create. I was like, it was like if my inspiration was coming from the love I had at home with my ex-husband and the family and everything. And from the moment he left, it was like if he shut down the inspiration. So was it the inspiration coming from him? During a while I thought, okay, I was creative because of him, thanks to him, but now he's not there anymore, so I'm not creative anymore. And actually the ideas were coming only from the fact that he was there, which is kind of scary, because when you are creative, you are supposed to be creative yourself, not according to if someone is there or not, you know. Of course, love, it's true that I need to be happy to create, so it's true that love, the love we had at home, was helping me, but the ideas, the inspiration, the technical work, the researches, the time passed on my paintings, on my objects, on everything, it was me. Even if I was inspired by poetry written by Jim Morrison, but still I was the one who was creating. I was at least holding the brush, and I was doing, and I had no question in mind, and suddenly it stopped completely. So that was, I would say, more than a block. It was like if I was in shock, and it was like if I even forgot how to hold a brush. I tried to paint something, and I stopped in the middle, and I finished it lately in my shop, actually. I hate to have paintings which are not finished, so I wanted to finish it. But it was not pleasant to go back on something which reminded me something really sad, so I wouldn't recommend that, to go on creation which reminds you sad events. It's better to start something new, I think. So I would say that in this particular situation, time did the thing. I was not forcing myself anymore, and I thought that it would come back when it would come back. I was not painting anymore, but I was very busy in my business. I had a lot of work, so it's not like if I was doing nothing. I was really busy, and I had to do all these tasks in my work, so I didn't have the time to get bored or to... I was sad not to paint, I must admit, because that was something essential in my life. But I wanted to give it time, because I understood that I had to digest something, I would say. Later, I watched a lot of videos made by Jennibellie, which inspired me to do again a little craft. Not art, but craft. In the Jennibellie videos, it's not only what she's doing that I like, it's also all the style, all the colors, the materials she uses, even her nail polish, you know, things like that, which gave me the wish to do something again. So I tried a few things with her, and I think that I was at that time in the process of trying again something. Then a friend of mine, actually David Strother, who is a violinist and who plays for me during the art walks, told me that I should read the book The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. So this is, you know, I was not very convinced when he told me you should read that. But I thought, okay, I will give it a try. After all, I won't lose anything. So I read it very quickly. It's very easy to read. It's really very well explained, and I think that is a fabulous book because it helped me. Somehow it helped me. I will write the name of the book in the description box, and I will also give you a link to a video that I watched tonight on YouTube, made by a guy named Leo, but I'm sorry, I don't know the name of his channel, but I will find it for you. Watch his videos because it's very complete and he gives a lot of excellent ideas and advice. So I highly recommend this video because it's very, very complete and probably more professional than what I'm doing right now. Right now I can only share my own experience. I can talk for everybody. I can only say what I did. So later, as I was explaining in my videos, I heard again the tuk-tuk music, and I always painted in music. For me, music is absolutely essential to my art, and the fact of hearing this music and even watching Hollis in a video, the Such a Shame video, suddenly it's like if someone had pressed the button on again, and oops, I was again on the track of starting painting, and then no question, no wondering, will I manage, how is it going to be, am I good enough, my inspiration doesn't come from me but from my ex-husband, things like that was completely forgotten. But I had to wait 9 years. It's a lot, you know. It's a block which lasted really a very long time. That's why I'm wondering if it's really a block or if it's more rather a trauma or something like that. I still can't explain why, but I will have to find out anyway, because I don't want that to happen ever again, of course. Otherwise, I started painting on canvas again, but the block related to the craft still remains a little. Every time I want to start something crafty, I managed to do a few things that I had to do for my store, but every time I want to take the time to do crafty things, I don't. It's more because I have a lot of work and I feel guilty to take this time for myself instead of working. And I have a lot of ideas, but when I'm supposed to start, it's the total blank. My solution is, in such a situation, it's to take the time, not to feel guilty. Consider the time when you are creating like your work. You can say to yourself, it is a part of my work. What I'm doing in art or in any media you are doing, it's going to help me to do the rest, because you need this kind of food to live your life and to maybe reach your purpose, to help yourself anyway. You know, lately I was painting on my canvas there, and I have a lot of work beside that, but I decided that during the weekend I had to take some time for that. And I was painting and still feeling guilty because I had so much work to do beside that. And my son lately told me, I think you don't work enough, you do nothing. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm working all the time, all the time. I have no time for myself. Why do you say that? And he told me, no, I'm talking about your real job. Your real job is your paintings. you don't work enough. And suddenly I thought, wow, that is another way to consider art. If you tell yourself that art is necessary, that you have to do it, and that it's your work, it's your purpose in life, and it's urgent, as urgent as doing a check to pay a bill, then you don't consider the situation exactly by the same way. Of course, you need to get inspired. So the guy Leo in his video says that you should, or we should, look at things which inspires us, but which is not automatically the same thing as what we do. It's true that during a while the David Hockney paintings inspired me a lot, and I was painting a lot, not like David Hockney, wish I could, but it was inspiring me a lot, especially for the colors. But it's not only the paintings which inspire me, it can also be music, as Hollis. So it can be just walking in the street. You know, when you are lacking of inspiration, a good way is to go and walk. Walk in the country, walk in a yard, walk in the street, or even drive. If you don't like to walk, well, walk is good because it makes you exercise, and then the brain is more active, I would say. But if you really don't like to walk, you can also drive, especially in Los Angeles. There are long avenues to drive and drive and drive. And the ideas are coming with the movement. But even if you don't drive, even if you don't have a car, take the bus. A very good way to have ideas coming. The bus, the train, the metro. Every time you are in a space where there is a movement, for me at least, I have a lot of ideas coming. And also, browse on internet, check things that you love. For example, I absolutely love artists like Joy de Ranchabot, who is a French artist who makes fabulous furniture, painted furniture, one of a kind. I love that. Or even Rachel Ashwell, or Karen Quaterman is wonderful. She's an English artist, designer. I absolutely love what she does. And also Isabelle de Borgrave is a fabulous artist who creates clothing in paper. And even if I'm not going to do the same things as these people, never mind, because a little detail gives you an idea for something. But also, of course, for me, it's music first, music first. I play music and I'm gone. I'm like if I'm in a total natural trip. No drugs involved, just the music. And that's a wonderful source of inspiration. Beside being inspired, beside telling yourself that it's your job and your duty to do it, you still have to, if you don't manage to go and start, force yourself. I realized that when I force myself, at the beginning it's very hard, but I realized that the difficulty is to start. Once you started, it's much easier and the flow comes. So if you kick in the butt and start, and even if you suck at the beginning, never mind, but just do it, and it will come, and then you will be very happy by doing it, and to see that you manage to overcome your block. So maybe it's not going to be genius when you force yourself. Maybe yes, sometimes I forced myself, I do something that I really don't want to do, or I'm not in the mood, and suddenly you don't know why something incredible pops out. But also realize that in art, any art, you have periods when you stop, and you can't do it all the time. Sometimes the fact of stopping is a way to, how to say that, to nurture your inspiration. You need this time off to regenerate yourself. I don't know if we say that. Yes, to yes, to have a fresh eye when you come back. It doesn't mean that you have to stop forever, of course, no. But if you take, for example, 2, 3 days, 4 days, even a week off, it's not a big deal. If you don't have a lot of time, even if you work like half an hour, 1 hour, it's better than nothing, except in your rest period, of course. But I mean, sometimes it's better to do little by little every day than stopping a long time and then have difficulties to start again. This weekend I'm going to continue on my painting, and I want to start craft again. And you can't imagine in what awful situation I am right now. I'm not going to enter in the detail because it's not interesting, but in my work it's terrible because I love my work, I love my job. What I don't like, it's all the administrative part, you know, immigration, taxes and accountancy and things like that. I absolutely hate that, but I have to do it. And when I do things like that, usually it's such a bummer that it pulls me completely down and I'm good at nothing. But I'm going to force myself. I'm going to force myself because it's my only way to survive. I need that. I need that. In the video I watched tonight, the guy Leo was saying that we must come back to the source of why we are doing and practicing our art. And when he said that, I was like, why I'm doing why? As far as I can remember, when I was a child, I was already drawing, and I didn't ask myself why I was doing it. But by thinking more deeply about that, I suddenly realized the importance of the music in my art. I started drawing and painting because of the music, and because of the music then. That is why probably I love so much Hollis and Talk music, because he has the same inspiration as mine. We are of the same generation exactly. I'm barely younger than him. I'm not going to give you my age, but I'm not much younger than him. We are the same age basically, and we have been inspired by the same things. So he's speaking my language, and I say that by a very humble way. Of course, I'm not comparing myself to Hollis. He's much more advanced in his own art than me, and he's more accomplished than me. But I realized that he was talking a language which reminded me why I started my art, and that is probably one of the reasons why he helped me to overcome this terrible block that I had, which was more than a block, which was kind of a trauma. So you see, by watching videos, by working, by thinking, by listening to music, by watching things, ideas come in place, and I wanted to share that with you because it could have been a big catastrophe for me and my life and for my existence. That is also probably why I do so many videos about Hollis and Talk, because I have the feeling that I owe him, them, so much. Of course, they they don't know that they helped me. I mean, and Hollis probably doesn't know, but Never mind, I feel that I need to give back what has been given to me. Find your mark, Hollis. Find the thing which inspires you so much that it speaks to you, and that you feel so familiar with that, that it gives you everything you need to create. Of course, I still don't paint enough, I don't create enough, but all that is going to change. I'm not in the same situation. I have blocks, but for other things. Now I have blocks actually to do my work. I am procrastinating to do my work, which is urgent and that I have to do, because I hate certain things, and when I hate things I have a lot of difficulties to do it. So I have blocks at a point you can't imagine, but same thing, I force myself because I have no choice, because I have to do it. Today I went to the post office to send a letter to the taxes and a check. I didn't want to do that. You imagine giving my money to the US government? I don't want to do that. But I forced myself. I forced myself because I have no choice. And if you consider that your art is, you have no choice. It's not an emergency. I'm not saying that you must work in an emergency. I'm saying that you have to do your purpose in life. You have to do it, and you must find a way. And if it is 5 minutes per day, it will be 5 minutes per day. It's not a contest about who is going to do the most and who is going to work faster. It's not a problem of speed, or it's not a problem of quantity. It's a problem of doing and be happy with what you are doing. So when you are in a depression, that's the problem, is that art is not even more something which brings you happiness. You don't even want to do something in a depression, but that is not a block. It's a depression, it's something different. So that is why you must make a difference between being in a depression and just being blocked. My depression provoked a huge block, but which was not a usual block, which was not procrastination, which was not laziness. It was really very serious. You must try to understand what is happening to you first. If you think that you are in a depression, you must take care of your depression and not blame yourself because you are not creating. If you are not in a depression and you are just blocked and you are procrastinating, then it's easier to handle, I would say. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's easier. I hope this will help. If you have any question, because I probably forgot things, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me and I will answer as much as I can. I will answer. I will take the time to answer. And please, I know it's ridiculous to say that, but give a thumb up if you like this video. It's, as I say every time, my only way to know if you liked it or not. Subscribe if you want. Okay, so I see you very soon, and bye bye. I will see you in the next one. Bye.